And I'd love to jump right into this. I might start and ask you about the Trump endorsement and, of course, the recent RFK alliance, because I know behind the scenes you were working, I think, a bit with Bobby over the past couple of years. But maybe before I jump into that, Robert, it feels like the gloves are off with you more than maybe they were in the past. And it feels like you've had enough, and enough is enough. And it feels like you're more and more vocal about what's going on with the world and maybe the way that even you're being treated in the world. Is my perception correct of that? And is that because this is such a crucial time, and also you've had such a buildup of so many things being directed at you?
Well, thanks for that, and you're accurate. I'm like Bobby. I'm coming to my network moment of I can't, I'm not going to tolerate it anymore, and it's not just me. It's all of us. It's the tide of events. And we are coming up to a crucial nexus. I don't think that's hyperbole. Obviously the world has its eyes on Starmer and the various statements that have been made in the UK and all the arrests, which have just stunned many people here in the United States, as if they were asleep during what has happened in Canada. Now they're finally seeing our key partners across the pond go all in on this new crazy authoritarianism, backed by a willingness of security forces to enforce government policy on thought and speech and social media. I mean, the videos of elderly gentlemen commenting online and then getting arrested by your police force, I think really strikes a note. And then there is the arrest in France of the founder of Telegram, and this just seems to be piling on. And here in the States, we're all getting a really hard lesson in the power of the ability of a one party to control media, corporate media, and spin gold out of straw. I mean, how else can you perceive the Harris-Walz campaign and their rise in the polls? It's absolutely stunning, the power that this technology has to influence a large fraction of the population, and it's being deployed globally, or at least certainly in the West. And it's so much more than just the jabs or the policies during COVID or the masking or the Mutton Crew or the 77th Brigade. I mean, it's like everything all at once, like that famous movie. It just is coming at us so fast and hard. And talking about the gloves being off, it feels like the gloves are off from the globalists. We have Tedros and his various agendas going on. With the international health regulations. We have the UN at the end of this month is going to be trying to get nation states to sign off on this new, they call it a pact, but it's essentially a treaty. This is I forget what they call it, looking forward or something like that. Their new plan to accelerate Agenda 2030, in which they're asking for huge amounts of capital, by the way, a fraction of your gross national product. In our case, this comes to really big money in the United States. And they all seem to feel entitled. What we're seeing is socialism. How do I say? It's socialism set loose. It's unapologetic. And meanwhile, those of us, and increasingly I'm aligned with the logic of the Austrian School of Economics, Mises Institute, and this term that was invented by Murray Rothbard, anarcho-capitalism. And we're seeing Argentina led by a hardcore academic Austrian school economist just revolutionizing its whole position in moving towards a future that looks like more like Argentina in the past. It's the things that are moving in the United States. And then, of course, we've got Ukraine. We've got Putin trolling Harris. It's just stunning. Endorsing the Harris-Walz campaign. It's like clown world on hyperdrive now, everywhere, all the time, full stop.
All right, so I agree. It does feel like the gloves are off of the globalist. It feels like they've turned it all the way up, not past 10 to 11, and even into the ridiculous, which is what they do, I think. But also it feels like they're off with you too, where you're like, you know what, enough is enough. I'm taking my gloves off as well, and I'm going to come at you, and I'm going to tell it like it is, and I'm not going to let things ride a little bit. And I guess part of that is you now, endorsing Trump and, calling all these other things out. And I'd love to go into the detail because, like you said, there's so many vectors right now. It's
well put.
It's hard to keep your head straight. And I guess that's maybe part of the design. The first one that you mentioned, this complete rebranding of Harris, I'll agree, it shocked me as well because, and you could tell it shocks Trump. I listened to almost all of his speeches, and you can hear he said, everybody hated her, months ago. She was totally irrelevant. Yeah. Everybody knew she was incompetent. But as soon as she was announced as the next president, the spin campaign went into effect, and it's done such an incredible job that, it had her, I guess briefly, I don't know if she still is, ahead in the polls, which just shows you
Depends
how powerful.
Depends on which poll you watch.
Yes, it is. And
well, that's another thing, Brian, is the active manipulation of polling results is now becoming increasingly transparent. This is one of the things that really pissed off the Kennedy campaign was the kind of strategic manipulation of polling based on who and what questions would be asked. And the way that it works in the US, we all focus in polling on basically the 538 kind of aggregate of polls method for assessing and trying to balance out bias within individual polls. And so that can also be gamed because it's a numeric average. And so if one is on that list of polls that go into the aggregate and you select questions that result in significant bias, you can shift the mean because that's what they're looking for is the mean, not the mode. And so the mean is really sensitive to outlier data. And that's part of the war that's going on right now is actually manipulating the data so that it has an impression on people about who's winning. The whole thing is, Brian, I got to say that, shameless self-promotion. It's as if the world wants to validate our book.
Right.
I'm just stunned. I wish it had come out a month earlier. It's like everything we've been talking about. And I've been so wary about being in conspiracy land or labeled like that, or kind of going beyond what I should reasonably conclude from the data. And then this rush of events is just completely validating everything that I have been observing and hypothesizing. It's my fear now is that by the time the damn book is out, it's going to be outdated because there's so much.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.